Welcome to First Time Finance, the UK's mortgage specialist for foreign nationals.
Thinking of applying for a mortgage but scared of messing it up without knowing? You're not alone. We speak to foreign nationals every week who are doing all the right things, saving up their deposit, finding the right property, and even speaking to a broker, but they're still worried that they'll slip up somewhere before they actually get the keys. The truth is, that fear is valid because even strong buyers can get declined, not because they're not eligible or they don't deserve the mortgage, but because of one mistake that spooked the lender at the last minute. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through 3 of the most common mistakes that can quietly kill mortgage applications and how to make sure that you don't have this happen to you. So the first mistake is opening new credit right before or during the application process. Now, I get it. You might be thinking, I'm just upgrading my phone, or I'm going to open a new credit card to help me build the credit. But here's what lenders see: a hard credit search. And each hard credit search can lower your credit score. And also, if you're taking out more credit, that can count as further credit commitments against you for affordability purposes. So, what can happen is that your whole profile can then look riskier. And even worse, if you apply for a mortgage and then open up a new credit card after submitting, the lender could still pull the credit file even after issuing the first offer. So if something's changed, they could then actually pull the plug and take away the original offer. So this is one of the easiest mistakes to avoid because it's something that can really cause issues. So just be very careful around that. Now, the second mistake is changing jobs mid-process. You might think, for example, that sounds a bit strange, why would I change jobs? But if you get offered a pay rise, you might think, actually, well, if I take this pay rise, surely it will strengthen my application. But that's not always the case, because to lenders, it might signal instability. Lenders want to see consistency. They want to see, ideally, that you've passed your probation, that your income's steady, that your role isn't brand new. And this is especially important if you're in the UK on a visa, like all of our clients. Changing jobs in the middle of an application often means starting new from scratch, right? So getting a new contract, new payslips, and sometimes that it could cause delays. So it's important just to be careful around this. We've seen clients push back the time in which they could buy by months from this happening. Now, this isn't me saying if you've got a good job offer, don't take it. It's just important to weigh up the pros and cons and speaking with a specialist advisor before doing so. Now, the third mistake that we see, and this can cause huge issues, is having large unexplained deposits into your bank account. This one does trip up a lot of people, right? So say a family member or a friend sends you £5,000 to help with your deposit. That's great, but the money landing in your account can be a red flag. Look, lenders need to see the source of the deposit, right? So is it a gift? Is it a loan? Where has it come from? Can we see the trace of the funds? Has it come from the UK or has it come from abroad? Now, none of these things are exclusively wrong or necessarily mean you'll get a decline, but it's very important we understand the true source of the funds before choosing a lender, because each lender will have differing criteria and differing policy. Look, all of these mistakes that I've mentioned in the video are 100% preventable, right? When you prepare early and you structure things the right way, you won't need to run into any of these issues. At First Time Finance, we work exclusively with foreign nationals in the UK who are looking to buy their first home here. So that's people that have migrated over here on visas, typically using just a 5 or a 10% deposit, and normally with quite a limited credit profile too. The big reason we've got such a high approval rate is because we review everything up front. So we don't just have a conversation and say, yeah, that should be all right. We look at everything properly. And that makes sure when we actually go and apply for the mortgage later on, we know we're going to get it approved. So very importantly, avoid these 3 mistakes. Ask the right questions before you apply. And if you want help building your mortgage profile the right way from day one, feel free to book a discovery call in with us. We'd love to help. At the end of that discovery call, you would know what you can afford, what to avoid, and how to get approved for a mortgage first time. If you've got an earlier stage question, feel free to drop it in the comments section below. We reply to everyone. And if you found this helpful, please do subscribe for no fluff advice made for foreign nationals buying their first UK home.